Second day of riding went pretty well. I've caught up and I stayed in Cowra. But yeah, there's so much to do around here. And I was like, oh, I want to go here and the Japanese gardens. And yeah, I only got to fit in one thing before everything kind of closed. I probably would have preferred to have spent a day here rather than in Orange actually. And I was initially going to start in Cowra, but because of the whole bike box thing and needing to store it somewhere, I had to start somewhere with a train station, which meant Orange. So I spent the first half of the day on the highway to save myself 10 kilometers. And it actually wasn't too bad, but there wasn't that much of a shoulder in quite a few places. So when a truck passed, I would have to get off the road. There were still very nice views. It just wasn't ideal to be passed so many times by vehicles, but it still isn't that trafficked an area, so it wasn't too bad. And then I followed the slightly smaller streets to Cowra from there. Yeah, the last 10 kilometers or so were actually really difficult because it was already above 30. It was quite exposed. So I was just desperately trying to find shady spots to be able to stop in for a few minutes because it was just so hot. But I made it, and I think the weather's going to be pretty similar today. But today is also all uphill, so probably the most difficult day. The one thing I did get to see in Cowra last night was the Railway Heritage Group or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was called actually, but it was basically like a museum for old trains, and it was actually really interesting. I feel like I'm kind of interested in trains now. Anyway, today I'm taking the scenic route to Mandurama, and yeah, it is very much a scenic route, but apparently there are some great views and there's maybe even a waterfall or something from what I've seen on the map, but I guess I'll just see what I see as I go along. So just as I was getting distracted by navigating that very watery crossing, I took my shoes off for it because I couldn't tell how deep the water was because it's very murky. So I was like, I'm not going to risk trying to ride through that. I crossed and I totally didn't notice there's a whole fucking herd of sheep in front of me. So today has been quite disappointing, actually. Possible thunderstorms were forecast at about 2 p.m. and I thought, you know what, I'll be really close to one of the towns by then, if not already at my destination. So it should be fine. I can just quickly make it to the town. But I started hearing thunder rumbling just before 12, and I was very much in the middle of nowhere with barely any reception on a dirt road, and it was already pouring. One rule that I have is that I will not cycle when there's thunder because, there's just so much potential for things to go wrong there that otherwise wouldn't be possible. So my backup plan, if that were to happen, was always to call a taxi, and I had to get one from Cowra, and I was kind of a fair bit out of the way, and asked them to take me to Mandurama. And by the time the taxi got to me, the thunder stopped. But I didn't know if it would come back or not. And the weather just started clearing up a lot by the time I was driven to the hotel. And I felt like, what a waste. And also, I decided to take the dirt road route rather than the sealed route because it was called Wayangala Views or something along those lines. And I thought, that sounds like it'll be really picturesque. And actually, I feel like the views were nowhere near as good as the last 2 days, so I totally could have just taken the sealed route, and I'm on a road bike, so that would have been much more appropriate. Yeah, I really don't think I would have missed out on much if I had taken the sealed route. I thought I would be going through Wyangala Dam, but actually I sort of went past it and was at a much higher elevation, so you could look down, and that view was nice. It was very nice. But it was just one point out of the whole thing, and there's a dam that I'm going past tomorrow as well. Yeah, I don't know, whenever I bail myself out of some sort of like bike packing adventure or misadventure, I guess, I always just feel like very sad afterwards and feeling a bit traumatized, like the next time I go it's also going to not work out well. So tomorrow I've cut my route a lot shorter, mostly because I wanted to avoid going uphill because there was a lot of uphill today. I did manage to do 40 kilometers out of the 66 I was supposed to do. But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to take the highway for 9 kilometers to Cowra, and then I'm going to go to the dam and ride along there. And once I can no longer see the dam, I guess I'll just come back. I think that'll be around 30 kilometers. So I guess also kind of a rest day. Yeah, so far I really enjoyed the views of the first half. We'll see how the rest of the second half is, because today's views and also the feeling of having to take a taxi were not as fun.